Hello, everybody, and welcome to Level Based Gaming. Thank you for joining us on this show today. My name is Felipe Prada, and with me, as always, is Oscar Portillo. What's going on, Oscar?
Yeah, what's up, Felipe? What's going on?
You know what? I think there's something we really need to talk about, and I'm pretty sure a lot of
Yes.
a lot of other people have spoken about it. I want to talk about this Uncharted fan film.
Yeah, I just saw it when it came out, and then I just saw it actually before we got on here.
Now,
Um, what do you think about it?
you know what? It's funny because it always seems like I have a story before I tell the actual story.
Yeah,
And I saw it on YouTube, and I remember specifically seeing the word fan film. And of course, whenever you see the word fan film behind anything, it to me, it almost seems like clickbait a little bit. So I kind of held,
right.
I didn't click on it until I was kind of looking through other sites, but I wasn't looking for that. It wasn't until I got on Forbes.com that they had mentioned like a little blurb about an Uncharted fan film.
Yeah.
So like I kind of put two and two together. I'm like, is this the same fan film? So I went back on YouTube. I clicked on it, but by this time it already had, the thumbnail of Nathan Fillion, who play
Right.
who plays
Nate.
Drake in the short.
Uh-huh.
So I clicked on it. I saw it, and I don't know about you, but
Hmm.
this iteration of the film, right? Because I know as of right now, I think it's kind of official, unofficial, but they're working on an Uncharted film.
I mean, we've been hearing about this Uncharted film for a while, though.
Yeah, and the last thing I heard about it was Tom Holland, who plays Spider-Man,
Yeah.
was supposed to play like a young version of Nathan Drake. But
Something I think in part three, where I think it's part three.
yeah, where you see it's an actual flashback, which,
Yeah, yeah.
which is perfectly fine. I think Tom Holland has proven, that he's a versatile actor. The only problem is he has a problem of leaking, certain plots of the film when he's in an interview. I just think they should just pull him from interviews, altogether. But
I think I have a feeling some of that is
marketing.
yeah.
You think it's
I mean,
marketing?
maybe at first it wasn't, but now they kind of saw that it's kind of cool, and that's a way of marketing. Yeah, that's just a way of another ad, let's say,
But
of
getting
him mistakenly, quote unquote, mistakenly. Oh my God, I can't believe I said that.
right, like, oops, I can't believe I said that, and then
Yeah,
you
like
know
come on.
hashtags left and right, and people want to see the film more. But getting back to the Uncharted film, right? I saw the film. I personally like Nathan Fillion as an actor. He has that sort of, if you cast him in a film, that's who you're getting. You're getting Nathan Fillion. He's that type of actor, you know. And
I
obviously,
wouldn't mind him in in one movie. My only concern about that is though they're obviously gonna do every movie now is a universe or a franchise.
right, right,
Well, Uncharted is already a franchise, but you know what I mean.
yeah, yeah. Now they're gonna create the cinematic Uncharted universe.
Right. So my only thing with that would be he is I'm not gonna say old, but older. So that's the only my only concern about that. If it was a one movie, no problem.
Right. But if it's a series, that's where it could present a potential problem.
Yeah. Um, but go ahead. I mean, I that short was really good. But go ahead.
So, so in the short, right, they have Nathan Fillion playing Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
Avatar's Stephen Lang plays Victor Sullivan.
Let me tell you about that guy.
Okay, okay. I know you have your thing, right? And then there's Marcia Monroe, who plays Elena Fisher, and I'm gonna pronounce this guy's name poorly. Gino Segers, who plays the villain, which is Banshee, right?
You know who El Tigre was?
Okay, El Tigre. So
You don't have any information on him?
no, unfortunately, I don't. Although he is a very popular actor, especially in the '80s, I remember seeing him in like every single '80s movie, and he always played the same guy. You know.
So, I want to go back. So, well, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so I saw the video. I saw the short, and at first I thought, wow, Nathan Fillion really does look like Nathan Drake.
Yeah,
Even
definitely.
even even and I mentioned this previously to you when we started messaging back and forth when we first saw the trailer. Even Nathan Fillion has like the same head structure
Yeah,
as Nathan Drake.
yeah. It's pretty funny, but not really.
Yeah, it's spot on. And then what I thought about was remember how when they first leaked the Deadpool footage,
Yeah.
and right now I don't see any other person playing Deadpool than Ryan Reynolds. Okay, and
So this is where you go.
it's close. I'm not saying and you do present a very good issue with the whole age thing, but the way he looks, the way he portrays the character, his humor,
Hmm.
right? It it's pretty much Nathan Drake.
Yeah,
So
I can't. It's hard to disagree with you
it's
about that.
hard to yeah. I'm thinking, okay, I was trying to sort of nitpick and I was trying to criticize about his performance, but the performance was pretty spot on. I mean, I've played the entire Uncharted franchise to know, Nathan Drake's kind of quirks and his humor, his sarcasm,
Yeah, I mean, I've played all three of them.
and he's nailed it. He nailed it down. Really good job. Whoever decided to write the script, and big shout out to Alan Unger, I think his name is. Yeah, Alan Unger, who pretty much spearheaded this entire project.
Yeah, I mean, the production quality is really up there.
And that's the thing. How much money you think they spent? Because there was an interview with Alan Unger. No, it wasn't Alan Unger. It was with Nathan Fillion on Entertainment Weekly, and sort of asking him a couple of questions as it took them 2 weeks to film this. That was it.
Mm,
2 weeks. That's all it took for this 15 seconds, right?
15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes. And for 15 minutes, it was pretty good.
Yeah, again, it's the production quality is high. It looks like a movie. It's a regular movie.
Now,
Usually with shorts, some of these shorts, they don't look so good,
hmm
but this is up there.
I mean, I would love to see this rendition of the movie. Not whatever Hollywood's working on now. I mean, it would be nice to see them incorporate, I guess, Tom Holland as the younger Nathan Drake. But after seeing this short, oh come on, there's no way that they're not going to be able to go ahead with this one because it's so well done, even for 15 minutes. And I wanted to see more.
Well, obviously they leave it off at a cliffhanger.
Yeah, and I liked how they threw in the whole video game aspect of it.
Yeah,
The
when they
camera
start shooting them.
angles when they start shooting
Yeah.
at him, when he punched it, like it was cute. You know, it, it's it was done very, very, very tastefully, and it paid a really good homage, to the video game.
Well, did you see the remix?
Yes, I did.
Like they added the overlay of the game.
Yeah, yeah, that I did see, which was pretty good. Which means for a fact, the people who worked on this short film, they knew the source material.
Yeah, got it. Yep.
They knew the source material, and they knew that listen, we can't, we can't screw this up.
Well, they made in the beginning when the main villain he
hmm
starts reading off what he's done. I think that's referring to the game.
Yeah, yeah,
Like Shambhala is that's one that sticks out to me.
yeah, because he starts. I forget which treasures he's hunting for in which game, but yeah, he pretty much reads a list of pretty much everything that he's accomplished in the game, which was a nice nod. A nice nod to the
So that reaffirms what you said, that they know the source material.
exactly. They know the source. There's always that one guy who's like a hardcore fan. So they've kind of
They probably brought him in. That
they probably brought him in. They're like,
they paid him a bunch of
yeah,
money.
you need to help us. You know, but I know because we spoke about it before, right? I know you have an issue with I don't know why Mr. Stephen Lang has he done
I
something
don't
to
have
you?
an issue with them. I don't have an issue with them.
Because when we first
But
spoke about it,
he plays that character over and over again.
But that's the thing, like I was saying.
I know he does it really well. I get that.
Exactly. If you hire Stephen Lang for a role, that's exactly who you're getting. You're getting Stephen
He's
Lang.
gonna be the gruff veteran.
Yeah, and in the game, Sullivan is much older than Nathan, much older.
Yeah,
So I think he did a really good job. Like I
I'm
didn't.
not saying he's not. I'm not saying he did a bad job.
Who would you have picked? To,
No, but no, him.
that's the thing. Like I'm thinking, okay, Stephen Lang, and then I thought about it. Who else could they have gotten to play Sully? No,
I mean,
exactly.
yeah.
Nobody that I can think of. Because he has that certain type of style, that certain type of vocabulary. The way he speaks. Like I understand.
It's just
I
it's
understand.
just funny that it's just
Let me guess. It was the cigar.
it. Tell me that's not the guy from Avatar.
It is. No, you're right. It is. And the funny thing is, that's who I know. That's how I know him from. The guy from Avatar. I
He's
don't.
in the show Into the Badlands,
Yeah, he's
and he's the same character.
he was into the Badlands and he was on Lost, right?
No, he was in another show, Terra Nova.
That's the one, Terra Nova. Okay, and in Terra Nova he plays the veteran. He, he plays the gruff veteran. So yeah,
Again, I'm not saying I just think it's funny, but I'm not saying. Of course, that's the gay. You're gonna get him.
right,
I get that,
right. And Mercedes,
but it's just interchangeable his roles.
yeah, and the other character, Mercedes Monroe, who plays Elena Fisher, I'm really not familiar with her work, but I actually had to look up how to pronounce her name because I didn't want to say it incorrectly.
Right.
But I think they picked a really good cast.
Yeah. I mean, they could have done a lot worse.
And trust me, I watched it 3 times, right? Only because I really wanted to criticize. I really wanted to pick certain things like, oh, they didn't do this right. I really didn't criticize. They really did a good job.
Yeah, there really isn't much to criticize about it. It's spot on.
Now, how much? And I tried to look it up. I tried to research. How much you think this cost to make? That 2 hours.
And I wouldn't even
No, I'm
know.
not 2 hours. The 2 weeks, right?
I wouldn't even know. But again, it looks like a high quality movie.
Right,
So they definitely didn't go cheap.
right.
Let's say that we can say that.
And it's interesting because it just seems, and this is my whole thing. This is my gripe, and it has nothing to do with the films and everything like that. But there's this feeling that I have, right?
Yeah.
Once the studio gets involved with these projects or these films, these passion projects, right? I'll call them passion projects. It almost seems like they intentionally screw it up. Like they want to go into it and it's like, let's screw this up as much as possible, right? And
I mean, it seems that way, but I mean, that's not the case, but it does feel that way. Yeah.
now, name one video game movie that was even semi decent. I'll wait. I'll wait.
No, I can name one.
Which one?
I can name probably two or three, but I mean, they were semi decent. We're going by that scale,
Okay,
right?
okay, exactly, semi decent.
The first Mortal Kombat.
Okay, the first Mortal Kombat.
That to me, in my opinion, are we gonna go into this? Because to me, that's still the bar.
Right.
Did you see the Assassin's Creed movie?
No, I did not see it, nor do I want to see it. I just don't. I don't.
I've heard okay things about that.
Now,
I've heard fair things.
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure as a movie from an entertainment side of it, I'm pretty sure it's a good movie. But you see, you have to please the people who have played the franchises, who know the source material, right? And I think that, you know what? Yeah, that's putting a lot of pressure on them, and you're never going to make anybody happy. But at the same time, I do feel that a lot of the times the studios, because they don't know really about the source material. They just go into it and say, "Oh, we want to do this. This has worked for us in the past, so we want to implement this formula into XYZ movie."
Let's take the Resident Evil franchise.
Okay, another franchise, which, the first one I wasn't really all that happy with. Like I said, from an entertainment side of it, it was a very good movie. But as
And I
far
think that's where I think that's where that movie shines. It's a good horror movie.
yeah,
I think anyway.
right,
It's a decent horror movie. Yeah, it's not a good Resident Evil movie. The other part two was better at that.
right,
But I think that first one did a good job in giving nods to the game, but also introducing new stuff.
right. Because it's such a long-running franchise that there's no possible way that they can incorporate everything into one, two, or even three movies.
Well, I'm just talking about the first one.
yeah, yeah.
The first one I think is still the best one of the franchise.
Oh no, I agree too. I've seen all of them, and I do agree that the first one is better than all of them, but that's not by much.
Right. I'm not sure what that said
Right?
anyway.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
I think it does a good job in giving you all the dogs, the liquors, the mansion itself.
Right,
It gives a good, I don't know, it gives nods to the game, but at the same time, um, it's an original story
right. It is an original story.
with Alice and all. Whether you hate that or not, that's not what I'm talking about.
But it seems like, and it's funny that you say original story, right? Getting back to Uncharted, they're using the source material, right? This is who knows? Maybe their intent was to make somewhat of an original story, but it seems like everything that they were using, even if this film would have gone on, like let's say another 15 minutes, we would have seen something, right? That we would have, oh, that was in this game, or that was in part two, that was in part three. I was expecting, in all honesty, I was expecting like a train or a helicopter
Sure.
because that's what that game's known for. Obviously Uncharted 2 best sequence was the train sequence.
Right.
Uncharted 3 was when he single-handedly took down a cargo plane. And I do mean single-handedly.
I know.
Whether it be intent, like I always think that somehow like he was cursed somehow, and that everything that he did just went to shit because he's just cursed, and somehow he manages to
Just squeak by.
just squeak by. But it seems like they can do it right, and I'm talking about
I think going back to your point about them showing parts of the game, they kind of did.
yeah, yeah,
As
yeah.
you said earlier, with the camera angle, they did reference something from the games. I think the camera angle was the biggest thing.
Yeah, yeah. That's what the
So I think to your point, they do reference the game.
yeah. Once they changed the camera angle, that was the oh snap moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it made me laugh. I smiled, and I think that's the most important thing. And after watching the clip various times, I went back, I kind of stopped it. I honestly think somebody needs to create some sort of petition. And remember, going back to what we said in the previous podcast, the community has the power to make this happen.
Right.
And I really want to see this version come to fruition. Because not for nothing, I think Nathan Fillion could do an amazing job with this, portraying Nathan Drake. But you do bring up a good point about the whole age thing,
What do you think is or your favorite video game movie?
My favorite video game movie
Or one that sticks out to you,
to be.
for good things,
Okay. Thank you for saying that, because I was gonna say something until you told me for good things. You know what? Sadly, I can't think of one good video game that really stands out. Besides, the only one is, like you said, Mortal Kombat. That set the standard, for what a video game movie should be. And then after Mortal Kombat, everything just went to shit. Because if you remember, the very first video game movie ever made was Super Mario Brothers in 1993, and we all know what happened.
Yeah, it sucks. We
Yeah,
know.
and I can give you a list of video game movies, but the problem is every single one of them, nope, nope, nope. It wasn't good. It was all right. It was
You
bad.
didn't like what about the Lara Croft movies?
I
Not the new one,
no
the
no
one
the
with
with
Angelina Jolie.
I didn't think it was all that good. Yeah, they tried to, with the dual guns and her flipping. It
No,
just
but again, you don't think it was a good movie at least?
yeah, it was an action packed movie that I'll give it. But I'm looking at like from the basis of a video game movie.
But you're not. I don't think you're ever gonna get that.
No, and see, but that's my issue. That's something that I'm gonna have to come to terms with. Like you said, you're
They
never
need to make a movie that is gonna please us, but we can't we can't support just the video game community. I don't think can support
exactly.
a
No,
movie on the film.
yeah, you're absolutely right. And like I said, that's a demon that I need to deal with because, like I said, they're never going to be able to please everybody. Unfortunately, I'm one of
That's
those
true.
people. They're not going to be, and you're right, you're not going to be able to please everybody. You're going to have to create some sort of movie that is going to appeal to both parties, right? And I think,
You know, like Rampage. Did you watch that?
no, I did not watch Rampage, although Rampage did make a lot of money.
That's The Rock.
Yeah, because why? Because it had The Rock. I mean, box office revenue. The last thing I heard on the news was it made like 425 million, in box office revenue. Now, I don't know if that is just domestic or international.
That's The Rock.
But
That's what that
you
is.
have star power in The Rock. But remember,
Yeah.
he did another video game movie called Doom.
Yeah, but that was before.
Exactly,
No, that's before this. The Rock. The Rock is almost.
a household name.
Yeah, you can put him in anything almost. At this, almost. I mean, I think he came out with something recent. Oh, Skyscraper. Anyway, but other than that, I mean, he's been pretty much money.
So he's transformed from The Rock to Skyscraper. That's what you're telling me?
No, one thing Skyscraper sucked. People didn't like it.
And
But
that
that's the only movie of recent that
and
hasn't
that
done well.
how can you make a movie about a skyscraper? That to me was like,
That I haven't seen the
you know,
movie. We never see Warcraft.
I've never seen Warcraft. I've never seen Warcraft. I've never seen Assassin's Creed. I haven't seen the Hitman movies, and I'm a huge Hitman fan. Okay,
And the new one, I heard the new one. I mean, okay.
I haven't seen Need for Speed. I
That's not.
haven't seen Silent Hills. Right?
I heard the first one. It's not so bad.
I saw Max Payne in the movie theaters. I thought the
Oh,
Max
that
Payne.
sucks.
I thought the Max. Wait, did I see it with you? No,
No.
no. I saw the Max Payne movie. I thought it was hot garbage.
I'm not gonna. I do agree with
I didn't see Far Cry. I didn't see Postal. Did not see Dead or Alive. Did not see Blood
Yeah, but
Rain.
that movie didn't come out of the theater.
I did see.
I've heard Rampage is pretty good.
I have seen Super Mario Brothers.
Now, we've all kind of seen that.
But the thing is, I've seen it multiple times, thinking that okay, but I didn't realize that there was a Double Dragon movie.
I didn't know about it, but I did know about it, but I've never seen it.
And how can one forget the movie so bad it's good, Street Fighter?
You know, recently it came out. Did you know, like, that movie's been in the news recently?
Yes, that's the thing. A movie that's so bad it's good. The muscles from Brussels, who plays an American.
You know that movie, like, it's been in the news recently.
I know. And there was actually
Okay.
I think it was you who told me too. I saw a documentary about how that movie was just everything that could have gone wrong went wrong when they were making that movie.
I mean, it's not great. It's not good. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna try to.
And it's so sad that this was Raul Julia's like one of his final performances. And what's even worse is he was dying literally making
Yeah.
this film. Rest in peace, Raul Julia. I loved him as an actor. I loved him in Adam's Family. But just knowing the fact that he was dying making this movie, it kind of set the tone for how this movie was going to be.
Yes, no, that's a good point. That's a good way to look at it.
It showed how this movie was going to be received. Is it the worst video game movie out there? No, I don't think it's the worst one, but it's up there.
Have you seen the Chun-Li movie?
No, I have not seen the Chung-Li movie.
I think keep rallying them off
You know
until
what? And now that I think about it, but I don't know how this is going to be categorized. Did you ever see the first Pokemon movie?
is it animated
Yeah,
or
but that's the thing. It's weird because Pokemon falls into this weird category because although it did start off as a video game, right? Started off as a video game, then got made into an anime series, and then it was made into a movie. But it was animated. It was an animated movie.
I mean, I've never seen it. I'm not a Pokemon anyway, so I'm not a Pokemon guy. So I'm not.
I saw the very first movie, and yes, I saw it in the theaters.
You
I
paid like your $7 or whatever.
Yeah, at the time it was
At
like
that time,
$7.25 or something like that.
you buy popcorn. Do you remember?
Actually, I remember I bought the combo.
And then what? So what did you
I
pay?
saw it. I thought it was a very, very good movie. I thought it was a good movie, but Pokemon at the time, Pokemon was Pokemon, and even still now, Pokemon's Pokemon. You're not going to dethrone, that game. But that's the only game to movie that I can think about that was like, that was a good movie. That and Mortal
I'll,
Kombat.
I'll still say more.
Yeah, those are the
Okay, but
moving towards the future. Obviously, Uncharted is kind of like this official, unofficial movie, by Sony Interactive.
right.
They're making a Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
But we've been hearing about some of these movies for a long time. And we've been hearing about the Metal Gear Solid movie for God knows how long.
And how many times has Konami shut it down?
So, so we've been hearing about a lot of movies that are, supposedly down in the pipeline.
They're making a rebooted Doom.
I mean, if done right, that can be something. But it gotta be done right.
And I guarantee you didn't know about this one, or probably you did. They're making a Sleeping Dogs movie.
I didn't know about that actually.
See, I honestly think if they were to make that movie, right, it would need to be an all Asian, Chinese, made in Hong Kong. That's that game. That's the only way that movie would be able to survive. I'm talking about bringing John Woo to direct that movie, because I'm thinking that movie is a little bit. Have you ever seen the movie Hard Boiled with
Yeah,
with Chow Yun Fat?
Of course.
That's the type of style that I'm thinking.
Yeah,
You know,
I can see that.
because if you would let Hollywood take it over, they would whitewash the entire thing. You have to.
Yeah.
They would whitewash the entire movie. The main character would be Asian, but they would somehow have the movie set in San Francisco instead of Hong Kong. They would somehow whitewash that movie. I can guarantee you that they would
No,
whitewash the movie.
I'm not disagreeing. But that's fine with me.
And that's another movie I think if done really well, because it's a very, it has Hong Kong style action. Have you ever finished the game?
I went through like half of it. And,
Right.
what about The Division?
Oh, that's right. I completely forgot about The Division.
I think Jake Gyllenhaal, right? Am I wrong about that?
Yeah, but is he the star power that movie needs? Because remember, he was in Prince of Persia.
I guess you're right. But that could be something.
Yeah, but it
Again, we're just talking about the potential.
the potential. They're making the Division movie. What other movies that I know? Assassin's Creed came out recently. Well, it came out last year. Then there was the new Tomb Raider, which was released.
I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that good things about it.
I saw like one commercial for it, and that was it. I didn't find the urge to watch that movie.
Well, because they ripped off the game pretty much. If you played the game and you watch the trailer, it's almost scene for scene from the game.
Yeah, but if they copied it scene for scene, right? And I'm pretty sure there's a comparison video out there somewhere. Why wasn't that enough to drive people, or to drive me to say, you know what? I've played Tomb Raider. I want to go see this movie.
If you play the game,
Exactly. I played the game.
So why do you need to watch the movie? You played it already.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
I,
Why
I, I
waste the
was
money?
Lara Croft. That was me.
I did that.
Yeah, exactly.
And I didn't realize too that they're making a Dynasty Warriors movie.
I don't know what is that gonna be like. I mean, is that like animated or like it
I
can't
ha-
be
I have no idea.
it can't be
Yeah,
like
it would
live.
kind of have to be animated. That would be a lot of freaking CGI for the amount of people on the on the screen.
I can't imagine it'd be live action.
Like I know they're making a Sonic the Hedgehog movie, but that's going to be animated.
Yeah, I mean,
Either animated, like 2D animated or 3D animated. I'm thinking 3D animated.
it's gotta be 3D. Everything is 3D now. And supposedly they're gonna reboot MK.
Yeah, but I remember watching the series on YouTube.
First of all, let me say first, that series is awesome.
The one on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, I completely agree with you 100%. But I thought that was the reboot. I didn't realize that they're going to reboot it again.
I mean, that wasn't the official reboot, but that was like, like
Like you said, the potential.
I mean, there was a few seasons, so it's not like I didn't take that as a reboot. I just took it as its own show or something.
Right.
I didn't take it as any kind of reboot.
Right. I did like the fact that it was like like a really really
Yeah.
dark version of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed. I sometimes watch an episode here or there, just to watch it again. But that's one fan-made film or whatever that I really enjoy. And I like I said, I go back to it
Yeah,
not
but
often, but once in a while I'll watch a few episodes here and there.
can we call these fan-made films, even though the production value is really high?
Hmm.
I'm thinking, can we really call it a fan-made film?
Oh, actually, I mean, yes and no. I mean, that's just the term that we use, but what else can you call it? I think that's just the name of it. No
No, no,
thing.
yeah, it makes sense. But see, the thing is that you got to be very careful with these sort of things because a lot of the stuff that's out there, especially on YouTube, like they'll say fan-made film, like you see a lot with Star Wars. Like it's a lot of like it's YouTube is pretty much promoting a lot of the clickbait. So even
Somewhat.
somewhat, yeah, but I don't want to just go and randomly click anything with the word fan film on it because a lot of it's just garbage. It's clickbait. So which was one of the reasons why I didn't want to click on this one because I honestly thought it was just going to be another one of those, those clickbait videos. But no, it just took me so by surprise because usually the internet is pretty savvy when it comes to these sort of things. Like they'll say, "Oh, there's an Uncharted film in the works," or this, that, and the other thing. It just seems like this just came out of nowhere. It blindsided
Yeah,
us.
you're right. It did come out of nowhere. I'll say that. You're right. You're definitely right about that.
And
Nobody.
I think that's what really added more impact because
Yeah.
because it's like people are texting one another, "Oh, did you see this film or this that?" And I feel that that's kind of lost nowadays.
Yeah, I mean, you're right about that, but I think
Now,
stuff like this helps.
now if that was part of the whole marketing campaign, hey, good on them, right? Because even I think Neil Druckmann, who obviously they did the whole Uncharted and they're working
Right.
on Last of Us.
Hmm.
Even he was sending out tweets, saying good job and it's nice to see your babies on the big screen and all that stuff and to get support even from Neil Druckmann and from Naughty Dog,
Yeah.
that says a lot.
I mean, that shows stuff can happen
Yeah,
in
it
the right
shows
direction.
potential.
Things might be happening.
And I think even Amy Hennig as well said something. I didn't see exactly what she had said, but just they're getting the support that they need from the developers, the people who really know the game.
Right.
And I'm looking at it right now. I'm just I'm so shocked how closely Nathan Fillion resembles Nathan
Great.
Drake. But then again, they do like some makeup and they give him the suit. They make him. You can make anybody look like that. But just for the fact that it
I don't
just,
know about that, but I don't
it
know about that, but
they can make.
I mean, he's spot on.
He is just like how Ryan Reynolds with Deadpool. It's spot on. I can't, now that I see it, I can't think of any other person to play Nathan Drake. Now that I see Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, but then that's like, yeah, I mean, but that falls into a lot of categories, into a lot of characters. But we can always change it if we have to. I mean, how can I forget my favorite? One of my favorites, the kid that the Sonic the Hedgehog, but he's the kid that's depressed.
Oh my God, what's it called? Not Sonic, the other one.
No, the Hedgehog, but it's a kid dressed in a Sonic.
Now I know which one you're talking about. Because like for some strange reason, I was thinking about Knuckles, the Knuckles meme.
No.
This,
It's a short of a kid dressed in a Sonic. It's called the Hedgehog. But he's depressed.
yeah,
He takes everything I know about Sonic and turns it upside down.
yeah, and for the fact that it's a kid,
Yeah, it's a kid. It's not even
dre-
a hedgehog.
even though you know it kind of takes you out of the illusion, but just for the fact that it's a kid dressed up as Sonic, and then there was that one scene where he's kind of like on the merry-go-round and he's like really depressed.
That's one of my favorite ones. Because it takes everything I know about Sonic. It just,
Yeah, because it's a short film that explores loneliness and dread. You know,
we shouldn't be laughing about that, but I can't help it.
yeah, you don't want to laugh, but it's just it's funny, because it takes a character that we know so well, and like how you said, it turns it on its head.
It's Sonic in the game. He's cool. He's
I know where you're going with this. Oh my God.
yeah, Sonic is awesome. He's cool. He's all these things. And in this thing,
In this thing, he's not.
he's completely opposite. And he's a human. He's a human boy.
Oh my God.
And that's one of my favorites, along with the MK series.
But it just goes to show you, right? The creativity.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, the
You're thinking outside the box.
you're thinking outside the box. There's the creativity, there's the passion, there's, that drive to make a really good to make a really good movie or a series or whatever you want to call it. And it gives me hope. That we could finally get like a really, really, really good video game movie. And I think Uncharted could be that game. I mean, it could be
It
that
has the
movie.
potential it has the potential to be that movie.
Do
But
you,
you have to think about it could be just another ripoff of Tomb Raider and all that. Like,
so you could see this like going off the rails pretty badly.
I mean, of course,
I mean, no pun
but at the
intended.
same
Yeah.
time, I know it has the potential. I'll say that it definitely has the potential.
I'm thinking who else can they cast? Because there was Elena, and then there was the other chick, Chloe. Right? Who could they pick as Chloe? Oh, and I'm still waiting, by the way, to play Uncharted: The Lost Legacy.
I
Like
haven't even played
I
that.
haven't played that yet, and I'm like really dying to get my
I haven't
hands
played
on it.
that 24.
Oh, come on, dude.
I haven't. I'm sorry.
I know you're a budget gamer, but the game's like what, $7.49?
No, it's not.
I'm just saying. The game's like
$20.
the game's like
It is like $20 maybe, but
the game's not that expensive, and it's one of
the
the
greatest hits.
it is by far one of the prettiest looking PlayStation 4 games.
Is it the best one in the franchise?
It's
In your
not
opinion?
it's not the best in the franchise, right? But that doesn't mean that it's not a good game. It's a very good game.
Yeah, of course. I'm not saying that.
It's not the best in the franchise, but God, it looks so good. It's such a pretty looking game.
If I see it for $7.49, I'll get it.
Soon, because I know PlayStation always has these flash sales going on.
Well, isn't it part of the greatest hits?
I believe you know what, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's part of the greatest hits.
That's $20. Like I can drop for 20 on it.
Yeah, but there's a lot of other games that we need to play first. A lot of
That's
good games
true.
coming out. Yeah, there's always that potential that I can go wrong. But it's just there's just so much that could go right. There's so much
Yeah,
that
no,
could go
there's
right.
definitely a potential here. Um, we have to hope that it happens first of all,
Uh-huh.
and then that the right people are behind it.
I'm
Yeah,
still.
they could easily not even do this. They could easily just
Yeah, it could
for
be.
whatever reason.
Yeah, it could be just a one and done, and that's it.
I mean, that's not the case. That's not what it looks like.
No,
Because
no.
obviously at the end, the ending, you know, they leave you off.
Imagine, right? We get this short film, an amazing short film, and then they release the movie, right? But it's just completely the opposite.
That's exactly.
Like how it's called the Hedgehog, and then they release it, they just call it Nathan, and it's Nathan Drake's, his battle with depression and PTSD, and trying to move on, trying to live a normal life, and
It's Uncharted 5.
yeah, Uncharted 5, and he works like at a shop, right?
Come on, man. You can't work at a shop, right?
Like, but I'm just saying, like, they would take it
Maybe a
into
Whole Foods.
a
I
whole
guess they actually big working at a Whole Foods.
Whole Foods or Trader Joe's.
I think
These are
I actually drink at Whole Foods
these are
in the vitamin department.
these are legitimate questions.
He could work in the vitamin department.
In the vitamin department, let's see. You don't see him as somebody stocking the aisles?
No way, man. Come on, it's break. You're gonna stock an eye. It's stock. You gotta work in that vitamin department. At least you have some type of knowledge.
That's true, yeah, because since he's seen a lot, so he can have some sort of knowledge as to what he can offer.
Or in the vegetable department.
Or what about the bakery? He could be making cakes.
He could be the. I don't know. You think that's Drake working in the bakery?
But see, like, it just goes to show you, and going back to that movie, The Hedgehog, like how you can take something and just like literally turn it on top of its head, and it'll still be a good movie.
Somewhat.
So, yeah, somewhat, but
You know, in the florist department.
nah, Drake being a florist, I don't think so.
Come on. He hung it up. He hung up the guns
Not unless he quits.
for shears.
We see him 5 years after the events of Uncharted 4, and he works for a travel agency.
Oh my god. I mean that's yeah, and then like he ends up somehow like getting back. I didn't want to get back into this.
Yeah, but that's the premise to Rambo.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
Have you seen the new one? The newest one?
the newest,
Rambo.
the one where he pretty much rips the guy's throat. Like
I think he did that in all the movies, but
good point. But he
the
literally
new one, the newest one,
Yeah,
the one
Rambo.
that came when they came out in the 2000s, or whatever. I don't know.
yeah, where he what the hell does he do? He goes and he finds cobras and shit like that, and he sells them.
I don't even know the story of them.
No, that's the beginning of the movie, but he takes sort of the philanthropists to the jungle, and they end up
Oh
getting caught.
yeah.
And
Yep.
he warns them, this is not the area you want to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it. And you know what? That's a Rambo movie.
You're right. So we can't do that. I mean, and they can't be Drake.
It's
I still like Drake in Whole Foods.
but it has to be Nathan Fillion
That's fine.
reprising his role.
But I think he can't be second shelf. I'm sorry. You
Okay,
can't, you
I'm
can't,
sorry. I apologize. We need
Maybe like it could be the butcher.
we need to show him more respect. I get it. I get it.
Maybe the butcher.
Oh, the butcher. Yeah, that's a good one. I didn't think of that one.
Or the assistant, not the man.
The assistant manager.
Yeah.
Because there's the assistant manager, the manager, and then the general manager.
Or maybe he just runs his own franchise, like his own Whole Foods. He opens up his own Whole Foods.
Man, you're really stuck in this whole Foods thing.
I didn't see him working in Whole Foods. I just look at him. He looks like that guy. And he wears the same.
He wears the same shirt and pants working in the aisles.
Yeah, but he's. Come on, you can see that.
And
Guys like that walk around like that all the time at Whole Foods.
and there's that one person who can't reach, and Nathan starts climbing to reach that one item.
And he started getting flashbacks.
Yeah, and he starts getting flashbacks. He starts seeing the train and getting blown out of that cargo plane, and and it just goes to show you that the material is there.
Yeah, we got something here.
You know, there is unlimited potential, and that's kind of the theme that I was trying to get across. The unlimited potential of where they can take a franchise, even if they want to make a comedy out of it. Okay, which I do think a lot more, creative freedom should be taken. Because like how you said, what would happen if we take an iconic character like Nathan Drake and just completely turn it on its head? Is it wrong? No, it's not wrong.
I think something for Drake that can work.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure if everything can work that way, but
No, not
I hear you though.
not everyone could work out that way. Not everyone. But
But something like Drake, where he is funny, so that's a part of his character.
right.
So a comedy could work.
But that's the thing. He has that sense of humor.
Sure.
The sarcasm, the humor, the time, and it's also that comedic timing.
Yeah, yeah. But that's part of the games.
Right.
And we hope that translates into the movie.
Right. Now that we're in the topics of video game movies, right?
Yeah.
What movies do you think would work, or ones that you would like to see made?
I mean, I always imagine like a Bloodborne kind of thing,
That's a good one.
but I'm not sure if animated or live action. I guess animated is too easy, or would be too easy.
Yeah, that's the easy way out.
But imagine that setting, that Victorian London setting in a live action kind. Something like I don't know if you ever saw the movie Sleepy Hollow.
Oh no, I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it.
Something like that, with more gore, I guess. I mean, though there was a lot of gore.
So what would you follow the script as far as what the game offered?
Mm, no, I'm not a fan of that.
Right.
As I said earlier, I might as well just play the game.
Right.
That's why I'm going back to a little bit Resident Evil.
Original story.
That's why the first one.
Yeah.
That's why I appreciate that, because it gave you nods of the game, but still had its own story.
So you want them to go more down a Walking Dead type of story, where it's like they alter the story.
That's a good way to put it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that, because what's the point of making a movie if you're just going to copy the game? That doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
That's why the Tomb Raider movie, the new one, it just is silly. Like, it was just silly to me.
Because you could just like.
But that's why this Drake movie, this Drake short works so well.
Like you said, I could just play the game.
Right. But the Drake short, it works so well because it took aspects of the game, but it told its own story.
Right.
I think that's why that's a big reason why it works so well. And so the Bloodborne thing, I imagine some kind of maybe a prequel or something like that.
Right.
What about you? What do you?
Well,
in your dream?
recently, I don't know if you've heard, but recently, Bandai confirmed that they're actually working on a live action Gundam movie.
I've heard that.
Which that was originally one of my choices, and for the fact that they're actually working on it, and I don't know if you've seen Ready Player One.
I want to see it. I haven't seen it.
There's a small, and I won't go too much into it. There's a small section or scene where one of the players assumes the role of a Gundam.
Okay.
And obviously we have other movies like Pacific Rim that have pulled it off. I have no doubt, and it's obviously being produced. Namco is heavily involved. It's their baby. They're not, they don't mess around.
Yeah.
So I have no doubt that this is going to be a good movie. Now, as far as it being an original story or they're being influenced by the manga, that's what I don't know. I hope
What do you
I
hope?
hope that it's an original story.
Okay.
Okay, but like you said, why am I going to watch the movie if I can just watch the anime?
Yeah, to me, that just defeats the purpose of making a movie.
Because they tried doing it with Attack on Titan. They tried making the live action version and it was just terrible.
Yeah, but maybe I think that movie was terrible. Not because of the story. I
No,
just
no,
think
no.
the
Yeah,
movie.
the movie was just terrible.
Right.
But a specific game, right? That
Well, what about yeah, like what about something that's not even rumored, like in your
hmm,
wildest dream? I mean, you can say Metal Gear, I
you know
guess,
what?
but
No, no, not I'm Metal Gear. As much as I want that to happen, it's never gonna happen. I don't think it's ever going to happen because Konami.
yeah.
They're just gonna get in the way, and they're just gonna. So I'm not even gonna put that on the list.
Or if it happens, it's not gonna be good.
No, no.
Okay.
It's gonna sound strange, right? But just hear me out.
Okay.
I would like to see a Grand Theft Auto movie, but
Okay.
in sort of the style like how they did it with Grand Theft Auto 5, where it was more like a satire. They were making fun of society, not like the violence and the beating up of the hookers and killing
Okay.
people. I'm talking about the actual context of the game. You know, what was the phone company?
Oh, I don't remember, but I know what you're saying.
They make fun of Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook, and
Right.
it's just I want to see a movie like that that just really gives it to society and be like, this is how stupid you're acting. And every car manufacturer is like an outrageous name. There was
Now,
the
would you want a drama or a comedy or a
you know what the,
combination or
but
a
that's the thing.
thriller?
It would have to be a combination. Completely original story, right? I wouldn't even make references to the video game. All right.
Oh, so you okay?
I would like for it to be a standalone, but in that sort of clever, witty, type of comedic drama. You
But
know,
you would still need some type of story.
yeah, oh, of course, you would need some type of story because the story of Grand Theft Auto 5 revolves around three individuals. Oh, and by the
Right.
way, I don't know if you saw, but they brought back Gay Tony.
What do you mean, like in a DLC or
Yeah,
what?
in the online
Oh
Grand
yeah,
Theft
yeah,
Auto
yeah. I saw
Online,
that.
they
Yeah, yeah. I
brought
did
back,
see that.
and I'm thinking, oh my god, like I honestly thought it was single player DLC, but I'm like, no. Once they showed Grand Theft Auto Online, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense because it's still killing it. It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
still it's still drawing a crowd. They're pumping out DLC, but you see the story, Ballad of Gay Tony, where it's like that type of style of movie. That's the type of style of movie that I want to see. What
Hmm.
was the guy's name that he's always yelling? He was like Roid Rage. What the hell was his name?
Oh, Brucey.
Brucey. Yes. Just imagine seeing like that type of character on screen. Just like intense, like he's always walking around with a protein shake,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
always using the word bro every third word. Come on, bro.
But would you want something like a drama and like a dramedy almost like a drama and comedy
Yeah,
or
yeah,
like
yeah. Like a dramatic, yeah, a dramedy. That would be that's a perfect way to describe it. I mean, obviously, yeah. I don't want it to be, the ultra violent, because like you said, we could just play that in the games.
but I mean I would think maybe you need 'cause the thing about Grand Theft Auto that I like is not no, I'm not gonna say the violence. I'm just like the story.
Right, right.
So I think that's one of the strengths of Grand Theft Auto is the story.
And I'll give you a perfect example. All right, and we're pulling it from Grand Theft Auto 5, right? When Michael DeSanta catches his wife in the middle of her cheating,
Right.
what does the guy do? The guy jumps out the window. There's a car chase scene, And what does he do? He hooks up the wires and he pulls down the entire house, which was pulled from, I think it was Lethal Weapon, one of the Lethal Weapon movies. You know, and then it's like, oh asshole, it was the wrong house, and it's like, oh crap, and then he comes to find out that it's the house of like a mob boss.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, like
yeah.
that type of story.
Okay.
You know, where it could be done very well. It's like one thing leads to another, and it's like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
involve foreshadowing, and it just all comes together at the end. You know, I think
That sounds like a good idea, an interesting idea.
yeah, that would be one of the video games that I would want to see as a movie, but as an original story. You know, like a dramedy. You know,
Yeah.
the violent, like some parts of violence. You know, the sex is always going to be there because obviously sex sells. You know, but it would be nice to see what they can do with that. You know, because I originally thought, wow, you know, how would it be if like a game like Watch Dogs would it be made into a movie? But I feel like it's already been done.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and then there's obviously Red Dead Redemption, but I feel like again, that movie's already been done.
Mm, I don't know, but I mean, what do you mean, like a Western or
Yeah,
like
like the
a?
Western, like
Okay,
the Magnificent Seven.
okay,
That's already
okay.
been done. You know, do we need another Western movie?
Well, I mean, they're not that popular. They're not like pumping them out. I'll say that.
Yeah, they're not really pumping them out, but
No,
it
no. What I mean by that is like when there's not a lot of them.
no, there isn't.
So I mean, there is room for the Western if done right, I guess.
Right.
But I see what you're saying. I mean, it's been done.
You know, one game that I thought only because of the isolation,
Uh-huh.
the game, and I know you've played it, Adrift,
Yeah.
but how would you go about making a movie where like there's no dialogue, which they've still managed to do movies like that, but it's just like you're alone, you're out in space, you know,
I mean, there is dialogue. It's just through
audio logs.
yeah.
Okay.
So there is a way that way to tell the story. Um, that'd be interesting to see. I'm not sure if the payoff would be there. 'Cause I don't want to ruin the game for anybody, but the payoff is not what I thought it would be.
Yeah, but then again, you would have to go into an original story
Yeah, yeah,
where the
that's true.
payoff is a little bit more impactful, you know,
That's
and
true.
you could even throw in like the twist, you know, where it's like the he's not really there, it was all an illusion, or you know, he was just pretending that he was stranded, you know, but you can take
Did
it.
you play it? Did you ever play that?
No, I never did, but I did play some sort of demo at my job. They had like the VR headset,
Okay.
and I did play it in VR.
Okay.
You
Like a
know,
demo?
yeah, like a demo, and it was, you know, floating around in space, and seeing the debris float around. You know, it was that game. I can tell was made for VR.
No, definitely. I think they did like it wasn't at first it was made for VR, and then they went backwards and brought it out for normal console.
And I have no problem with that. You know,
Yeah, I mean to make it because not everybody has VR, obviously, but I think that could be something. I'm not sure an entire movie is floating, I guess.
yeah, that's the thing. Like, how can you really make a movie about you just floating in space?
Yeah, you gotta have something else going on.
You know, I think there was another movie that did something similar. It was the movie with Sandra Bullock.
Oh, Gravity?
Yes, Gravity. There you go.
I haven't seen that.
Don't worry, I haven't seen it either.
Oh. What about any other movie or any other game that you?
I mean, not any others that come off the top of my head, but the only really one that I thought of was Grand Theft Auto. I mean, I thought about other games like Warframe, and obviously the Divisions being made. Like No Man's Sky. Just not every game would be able to be made
Yeah.
into a movie.
Well,
But
I've heard the Gears of War movie. What do we think
who's
about that?
who's did they say anything about who's playing Marcus?
No. I mean, but at least, I mean, I can imagine Batista.
That is right. I can, yeah, because he's that big type of guy.
I mean, that's pretty much him.
Yeah, yeah. All you don't even need to pad him up. You just have to put
Yeah,
like a
it's just,
T-shirt on him, and that's it.
yeah, you really have to CGI his muscles off.
Yeah, they have to use CGI to kind of tone him down.
Yeah.
But see that
I
that that
think it's a war movie.
that would be a game, or that would be a movie where would the original story work?
Again, if done right, I can see that really working out.
Right.
A good alien movie, a good movie with aliens and stuff like that.
Because it has enough source material.
You mean the lore and stuff?
Yeah, the game's been out since what? Since the original Xbox 360 launch, what, 2007?
But like, does it have other stuff on it? Like, does it have like books or comics and stuff
Yes, it
like
has
that?
a graphic. I want to say a graphic novel and a couple of comics. So yeah, the lore is there,
Okay.
but it's just like, do I just want to relive the events of the Gears of War
No, no, but
franchise?
they can at least grab some of the stuff from the comics or from the game
Right, right.
and
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
they can always expand on some of that stuff.
Right,
And that's the point is get grab touching on some of that stuff but expanding on it.
right.
And like that, no, like we've been saying, nobody wants to watch the game again. They can just play it.
Yeah, but you know what? After watching this sort of fan made film, it just opened up the possibilities of what can happen. Like you could
What
take.
about this? I just have it right now. A Max Payne,
Hmm.
but from part three,
See,
but somehow like a continuation of when at the end when he
because at the end he's on the beach.
right.
He
Well,
sur-
somehow something happened.
Yeah, he survived, and they didn't say where he was going. It just
Yeah, he
he was
just
just.
walked off into the sunset, literally.
I would like to see a continuation.
It has to be Brazil.
A continuation in Brazil. Like, you don't think he would go to a different country? Like he would like, because
But that was just so.
like what
That was
happens what
so.
happens if he ends up like in a country of like Central America, like a Honduras or Guatemala, even El Salvador. He ends.
Something that. Oh shit! He's got to like.
He's
Like
literally.
MS-13 and.
Yeah, that's a perfect example. Boom, there you go. He ends up in El Salvador, right? He's in a pupuseria. For those of you who don't know what a pupuseria is, it's what's the best way we can describe it?
The actual pupusa.
It's like
Or
like the place. It's like a little restaurant that serves tortillas with cheese in the middle. That's our
Yeah.
that's our signature dish, right?
Right. So he's there. He's
He's
eating it.
there. He's eating. He's minding his own business. He's drinking his alcohol. He's wallowing in his self pity because that's what he does.
You get a cerveza.
He's drinking a cerveza, whatever. He's narrating something in his head, right? Here comes this group of MS-13, acting all rowdy. They bump into him, right? He doesn't say anything, and of course the MS-13, being the way that they are, hey man, watch where you're going. Max Payne just gives him that look, and then in his head he's narrating it, right? It just happens over and over. I can't get away from these pricks. And then he says something, and he gets up and he just starts taking down the MS-13, and that's pretty much what ends up happening. He takes on the MS-13, and somehow, some way, he runs into like an old friend that happens to be in El Salvador also.
But that's too much like part three then.
No, no, I know, but it's just we're grabbing from the source material,
No, that's right. Yeah.
you know. But
Or just bring Passos back.
yeah, no, you're right.
Might as
Yeah,
well just bring him back. Like he heard about Max. He's there, and he wanted to make sure he's okay. Max gets caught, and they're torturing him,
okay, switching it up.
and then Passos helps him out.
There you go. Instead of Max being the central character, now it's this other guy. That's
Pasos. I think that was the name, Pasos.
yeah, yeah. See that's
I
that,
could be wrong with that.
but that's a good way. See, endless possibilities.
I don't know. I still like Max in that Brazil. Brazil.
Yeah, because it was, in the favelas. He shaved his head. He was the gringo, in a foreign land, and to me it just worked for
Oh
me.
man, can't wait. I hope they bring that game back in high HD or whatever.
I really hope they do
That's one
too.
game I would buy.
So
Like,
if it was, whether it be a remaster or a remake, a remaster, you would buy it again.
yeah, we did play that game a lot.
And you know what? I will be there right with you because we did play a lot of that online. And the mere absurdity that what we experienced online too. Just the slow-mo and the shooting and jumping through windows, and the only thing that for me that was a little disappointing was the matchmaking sucked.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the campaign.
Yeah, the campaign I thought was a very solid campaign.
Like I replayed that campaign twice,
Yeah, it was a good campaign.
and
I mean,
I'm not I rarely replay any campaigns.
yeah, and they had the time attack mode. They had all this
Oh
other,
yeah, the arcade mode. Yeah.
so obviously, yeah, I definitely hope they bring that back too. All right, guys, it's time for us to wrap it up over here. As always, you can visit us on www.levelbasedgaming.com.
Follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on Podbean.com.
And we always appreciate your time, visiting us, listening to our podcast. If you have any ideas, leave them in the comments below. We're working hard on new things. So if you have any ideas, feel free to, to give us a shout out, and, we'll see what we can do. As always, my name is Felipe Parada, and this guy on the mic is Oscar Portillo.
And we're out.